Hey, what's going on, everyone? Devin Canup here, CEO of Become Viral. And inside of this video, I'm going to show you guys how to pick a niche for YouTube. I'm going to explicitly apply it to like how I pick a niche that I can easily automate and build a team and turn it into a cash flowing business. But if you're a beginner YouTuber and you're like, oh, Devin, what the hell do I pick for a niche? You can use this video. So anyways, the reason why I'm making this is because there's a lot of people that suck at YouTube and I don't want you to be one of them. And I want to make sure, like, I just have a lot of people that I see try to get into YouTube, and I would like to be able to send this video to them so they're not an idiot when they're getting their channel started. So anyways, we're going to jump into my computer right here. So this is my beautiful PowerPoint presentation that I made on how to pick a niche for YouTube. Super fancy. So anyways, these are the questions that I ask whenever I do it. Whenever I start a niche for a YouTube channel. So I have like 10 or so questions. I'm going to go through them. So the first one that I always ask myself is, has someone else had success with this? I hate recreating the wheel. I hate being the first person to market that is kind of taking over the market. You know, I like there to be at least some sort of results that are some sort of result from other people that are super successful, or some other success stories that I can replicate for my channel. So that way I don't have to recreate the wheel. I hate being unique when I get started. And then once I get a result, then I kind of pivot and do my own thing. So I always ask myself, what's the current financial cap? Is the biggest channel in the niche making $5,000 a month? Are they making $10,000 a month? Are they making $100,000 a month? Are they making $1 million a month? So these are questions that I ask myself. How do you find this out? You can use a website like Social Blade. Just type in your niche on YouTube, go and find some other YouTube channels, go spend, let's say, 10 minutes of researching, and you can find out who is getting results on, or like what type of results they're getting on Social Blade. And then how do you find out the exact number? Because they're going to tell you when you go over to Social Blade, they're going to be all like, they're going to give you kind of like a rough estimate. They're going to say like, oh, they make anywhere from $22,000 to $370,000 a month. So what you need to do is you need to kind of figure out what the RPMs are for that niche. This channel, Brightside, they do kind of everything and anything type of content. So I know for a fact they're getting probably like $2, $3 RPM. Sometimes maybe they get $4, but on average, I'm going to say they probably average about $3. So they're probably making about $200,000 a month off of this channel, you know? So that is something from experience. If you guys have any questions on what the RPM is for a specific niche, feel free to ask it down below. There's countless of ways of going to find it. How I know is I've just been doing YouTube for a while. So anyways, so I asked myself, what is the financial cap of picking a YouTube channel? So the next question that I always ask myself is there other people that have gone viral within 6 months on this niche? I hate getting into a niche that's like super old or saturated. And I am, like the most recent YouTube channel that's going to have success. I've done this before. I have had success in niches that were under this question, how old is the niche? It was like super old. It was a lot of people that are like a lot of $100 million companies I was going up against. And I asked around everybody and they're like, yeah, it takes you about 2 to 3 years to get results. I thought they were bullshitting and I didn't want to believe them. And I thought it was a lack of experience on their end, but it took us about 2 years for us to get results in the same niche. So lesson learned the hard way is just, I usually try to get things that I'm going into that I'm going to go viral in pretty quickly. Like there's other people that have had success within the last 6 months currently, at least within the last 8 months to a year. Last 6 months is a really good sign. And so I always ask myself, is there other channels that have had success? And also kind of a good pairing question is like, what's the run rate of the niche if there are channels that are successful recently? So anyways, always ask how saturated it is, how old is the niche. If I do go for something that there hasn't been recent success on, it's just because I really believe in long-term value of the channel and I don't care about short-term results. So I know most of you guys are like, oh, Devin, how do I make $10,000 a month in 3 months? This is what you want to do. You want to find other people that have had success really recently. I don't really focus on that as much anymore. I do it probably half the channels that start these days I do that, but most of the times I go for the long haul, like educational type channels that aren't profitable in the short term but are big brands in the future. So the other question I would like to ask is, how hard is the content to make? So this also kind of coincides with like, what is your budget that you have to work with? So the thing is you want to watch the videos and ask yourself, how hard is it to make these videos? If you don't know, go ask somebody that is an editor or something, or like if you have a friend that does content production, to ask them how hard it is to make these videos, you know, like how much time would it take? Like what experience level do you need to be at for someone that's in that field of editing or script writing or whatever? And then ask yourself, like, is this budget within my budget, you know, or like is something like this going to be within my budget? You know, there's YouTube channels like Kurzgesagt or Kurzgesagt or however you say it. It's like this German channel. They spend about $50,000 per video, you know. So at that point, it's like, what competitive advantage can you go into it with versus other people? And then the other question to kind of ask yourself is, are my skills better than my competition? So basically just ask yourself, like, what is my budget? So if you're at like $50 a video, there's not a whole lot of channel ideas that you can go after. If you have, let's say, like $200 a video or $300 a video, let's say $1,000 a video, then you can produce really good content. If you do have a budget of that size, book a call with my team, talk to me. I don't want you to just blow through that budget. And especially if you have no experience or anything like that with YouTube. So anyways, you got to ask yourself, what is your budget that you have to work with? If you're at like $50 or less a budget a video, then you're going to probably have to ask yourself this question as well, as like, are my skills better than my competition? So maybe you have to write some of the scripts or spend a lot of time revisioning things, revising, if I can come up with good words. Or you're gonna have to be an amazing manager too. You know, sometimes you can kind of make up for a budget with good management skills and good hiring skills, but that is a little bit of a tough one. Also, the other question I ask myself, because I am purely focused on building automated YouTube channels where we can have like a full-fledged content production team for it. So I always ask myself, is there a scriptwriter for the video, a voiceover, and video editing needed for the content? If not, can I transform the niche to that format? Will it work? Because if you don't have a voiceover and it's strictly just relying on video editing, chances are pretty high that you are going to have issues with monetization. Obviously, there are some exceptions to this rule, but I personally ask myself, can you get a scriptwriter, voiceover, and video editing for the content? And if you're doing the content yourself, like you're the personality of the channel, you're not hiring a scriptwriter or voice actor, the question is, can I do a voiceover and just edit the video to make the content, you know? Or like I'm barely going to edit this video. I'm just going to record it. My face is on camera. I talk to the camera. And I'm going to upload this video, you know. I'm kind of lazy on this channel, but other niches where you are trying to get a lot of views, you're going to ask yourself this question. So the other question I like to ask is, can I hire someone that is an expert within my budget, or at least someone that is passionate about the niche? So this is more so applies to the scriptwriter. So I always ask myself, can I hire someone that's an expert in this niche? So that way I don't have to be the expert in the niche. I don't really like to be the operator on my business anymore for like YouTube channels. And so with that being said, is like, can I hire someone that's an expert for this? So the reason why I ask this as a question now is because if I hire someone that's, let's say I do a crypto channel or something like that, and I'm trying to fully automate the content, and I want the content to be really good and bring a lot of value to the marketplace and for it to be around for the next 5 to 10 years, then I'm going to need to hire someone that's really good. And the issue with hiring someone that's really good in the crypto space is if they actually know what they're talking about, they're going to want, let's say, $300 to $500 a script, maybe even more, $1,000 a script, because they have valuable information, or they're going to want some sizable equity of my YouTube channel. So I preferably don't like to do that. Maybe you're in a different boat. I don't like to give out tons and tons of equity out to, let's say, someone that is helping produce the content. So I usually kind of stay away from those niches. You're always more than welcome to do it. Or if you don't have as much of the long-term vision and you're just trying to get videos out that kind of maybe you get lucky with and one of them goes viral, or you're kind of playing off of a trend, then you can definitely kind of skip this question. But I always do kind of long-term content, so I'm asking myself, so like a good example of this is like if I am doing a, let's say, microeconomics type channel, you know, where I'm talking about economics of businesses, then what I could do is I can hire an economist to write for my channels. And why can you hire an economist is because they don't get paid that much, you know, for their careers. It's like, it's not one of the most valuable degrees, like let's say something along the lines of, let's say, like crypto trading, you know, like people that are good at trading make tons of money, whereas people that are really good at economics, maybe they work for like a government job or a corporate job, but there's not too many economists that are like doing that. Or like another good example is like a historian for like a history channel or something like that, you know? So can you hire an expert in that niche, or at least someone that is very, very passionate about it and they do it for fun, you know? That is stuff that people do for fun, weird enough, or weirder than you can think. You know, like another example, maybe like Formula One, or let's say baseball or football or basketball, or space, or like anything that's kind of educational, sports, going to be around for the long term. You can hire someone that's an expert, you know. The other question I ask myself is this content long-term profitable? I know I've mentioned this a few times, but it's like, is it profitable for the next 5 to 10 years, 10 years plus? Or is it a quick cash grab that won't be around for a long time? So this is something good to know when you're going into it. I always aim for like these ones right here, like the ones that are going to be around for a very long time. It's because my philosophy of business is way different than probably most of you guys that are trying to just make their first $5,000 or $10,000 a month, you know? So I'm trying to build brands that are worth tens of millions of dollars. And with that being said, so I always focus on YouTube channels that are going to be profitable in the long term. So, and then last but not least, my last thought I have inside of here is this is something I guess more or less that's good for you to know, is like, what competitive advantage can you bring to this niche? And so is it more, you can provide more quantity than everybody else? You know, you find some niches where they only produce 1 video a month. Can you do, let's say, 5 videos a week? Also, like, can you increase your quality? Like, can you produce better quality than everybody else? This is how I got really big into YouTube, and how I kind of got my first results on YouTube was I was joining niches where the quality was awful and it was getting a lot of views, you know, like they were getting millions of views every single month, or if not in days. And their content was not that good. So I just went in and just made videos that were better than them. And I wasn't even that good of an editor. I just cared more than everybody else, and my quality was substantially better than everybody else, and I was able to dominate the niche. Also, then I kind of used this as my luxury as well. My video ideas were better than everybody else. Also, my turnaround time became really quick. So it was like I checked off almost every one of these boxes actually when I first started my channel. Maybe I matched the quantity, but like I was doing the same as everybody else, but my quality video ideas and speed to produce was substantially better than everybody else. So it's like if there was an idea that came up today, my video would be out today or in the morning. You know, other people, they would take them, let's say, 3 days to put out the same video that I did. So if you're in like something that's kind of news related or very competitive or very saturated, and you're reliant on new information to come out, then this one is a very important question. Like celebrity drama, any sort of like news related content, or anything that's like very trendy. That's why I kind of avoid these niches. I still do some of this type of niche where it's like the speed to produce is like a little bit important, but I try to do more like evergreen, like going to be around for a very long time, and it doesn't matter when I put out the video, because this is very hard to also incorporate with quality. Quality, you're always going to have people always come back and watch your videos. And so I like to kind of guarantee my success next month if I have a really big month this month. So basically I try to stay away from things that are going to decrease the quality, just so that way we can be producing things faster. Or the other option is you can like over clickbait stuff and just like over dramatize, but it's not a very good long-term effective strategy, because you are going to burn a lot of bridges with people. So anyways, these are the questions that I used, that I kind of asked myself. You guys can kind of have a little bit of insight of my mind as to why I picked different niches over others. I've overlooked like hundreds of channels now at this point. I have owned and managed, I think, like over like 40 now. Currently own and manage 15. I've had to cancel a lot of the channel ideas that I've done in the past, and now I've really stable ground and I know exactly what I'm doing. And I'm scaling to 50 channels this year, of channels that are in an evergreen, like an evergreen niche that kind of follows this suit that it is in here. You can always skip over some of the questions whenever you are picking a new niche. If you are a beginner, just know, like I would say, it's good to ask yourself all these questions, so I would at least you know in the back of your mind what you're going up against, because you don't know what you don't know, right? So I see too many people that just get way too like bullish on a niche that is only going to be around for the next 6 months, and they create this lifestyle and they go and spend a ton of money and etc. And then they don't realize it's not going to be around for a very long time. I've done that myself personally. I've seen a lot of other people do that, and I don't want that to be you to be one of those people that thinks that this money's going to be around for a very long time if you don't go through and ask yourself all these questions before you start a YouTube channel. So anyways, that's what I got. If you do have a decent budget to work with and you are looking to build a YouTube channel, whether that be, let's say, a personal brand, or you are looking to build an automated or a faceless YouTube channel, highly recommend that you go and book a call down below. Or if you want us to build a YouTube channel for you and you have, let's say, at least $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to work with, also book a call down below. But anyways, we will cancel the call if you don't answer the questions right. So don't waste our time. Don't waste your time unless you are like a really good fit for it and you are looking for someone to help you out. So anyways, that's what I got. Make sure to subscribe. Look out for future videos. If this was helpful, let me know down in the comments down below. And with that being said, I will see you all in the next one. Peace.